My daughter, Yona, will soon turn 16. For her sake and yours, I pray that my ancestor, the Crimson Dragon King, will continue to shower blessings upon our beloved nation forever.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to Paws On Animation and our Paws on Manga segment.
Today we're covering the manga Yona of the Dawn.
And I've been wanting to share this for such a long time because I love it so much.
Yes! And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, click notification buttons on future podcasts and all the Paws videos.
Yes, and so that you know, it's also, there's an anime available on Crunchyroll to watch. But thank you so much for subscribing, for following, for sharing our videos. We appreciate you so much. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
So if you're not familiar with Yona of the Dawn, it's a manga that's adventure, epic fantasy, romance, beautifully drawn, beautiful colors, beautiful characters, written by Mizuho Kusanagi, published by Hakusensha, and we get it through Viz Media.
Yes.
And it takes place during the early time period in a fictional nation of Kuka, so 2,000 years ago, back when it came out, I guess. And it was founded by the Crimson Dragon God, there's another way, that's what they call it, who came down to Earth from the heavens as a human, deemed the Crimson Dragon King. And so it's a really in-depth storyline for this manga.
Yeah.
But what stands out is not so much as the lore, but the characters themselves. These are some of the best characters in a manga ever.
Yes.
And every single one that comes on the scene like a video game, a new character appears.
Right.
A new challenger appears. Every single character is memorable. And the main couple, I know they're supposed to be a ship, but I'm going to call them a couple. Yona and Hack, you love them immediately. You know they're supposed to be together. You know they're going to be together. And some people like to ship her with Suwon, but I like her with Hawk.
Okay.
And it's just really a joy to read. From the first few pages, you are drawn in.
Yes, absolutely. And what I can read what the back of the book says, for the manga, one of many volumes as it's still going to this day. So the story's not over.
Right now it has 42 volumes.
Oh my gosh, is it done yet?
It's been going since August of 2009. And
wow.
Yes, it is a shoujo.
Wow. And surprised that anime only had one season. I guess it was too much for them to adapt.
It had 24 episodes and 3 OVAs, but if you go on to X, Twitter, Twix, you'll see almost every day people are going, where's the next season? Are we going to get another season? We're still waiting. You promised us a few years ago you're going to put it out. We're still waiting.
Yes.
Everyone else is getting a second season. Where's Yona of the Dawn?
Yes,
and
like no
the
sake.
fandom has not forgotten.
Right. So the back of the manga has the plot line. Princess Yona lives an ideal life as the only princess of her kingdom. Doted on by her father, the king, and protected by her faithful guard, Hawk, she cherishes the time spent with the man she loves, Suwon. But everything changes on her 16th birthday when tragedy strikes her family, and so begins the story.
And it's on her 16th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, here we go. Is this an unlucky number for Japan or something?
Well, you really like Yona. She's a princess, and she's the only child of the pacifist king second.
Yeah.
And she is a member of a Sky Tribe descent. She's got this bright red hair and these bright, beautiful violet eyes.
Yeah.
And you just like her immediately, her personality. She is not the type of princess where everyone do everything for me. She wants to be active. She wants to help. Even when tragedy strikes, she doesn't want to just sit by and do nothing. But they let her know, you've got to get out of here. You can't be, stay here or they're going to take you out too.
Right.
Because the book starts off with the death of her dad.
Right. And she's sort of reminiscent of like Nausicaa.
Yes.
And a lot of Ghibli heroines. And I know this was only 2009. Oh my gosh. But she is reminiscent of those types of heroes you see in the older animes where they have the status, but they don't let it go to their head or their ego. They use their status to help others when they're in need. and be selfless. So like she was inspired by those types of characters, because even when you see her traveling across the land, she kind of does like Avatar, and where they say every town you go to, you gotta help them out for some reason. So she kind of ends up doing that all across the story.
So I want to mention here, I mentioned Suwon. He is a favorite, although in the beginning of the manga, when the king is taken out, he's the one to do it. He's been her crush for 10 years, and she tells her dad before this happens that she wants to marry him, and he forbids her and tells her, no, you can't do it. And eventually she's going to have to get over him because he took out her dad.
Right.
And you learn there's different things about him that she never knew.
Yeah, I guess they're hoping maybe he'll be redeemed and he'll end up with her, as a lot of people like to have anyway for their ships.
And they show lots of flashbacks of them as children and so forth. And I have to mention, he's her cousin. He's her dad's son, so it's her first cousin.
Yeah.
We know that during empirical times and even in Egyptian times and other times, they married their cousins. Sometimes they married their brothers and sisters. Thank goodness that doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
But yeah, in this story, this is how it's set up. He's her first cousin, and of course she trusted him. Of course she didn't think he would do anything like that. And Hak has been around to watch over her. Now, she always thought of him as an elder brother, but clearly Hak doesn't think of her that way.
Right, so
Suwon's
it's a kind of sort of love triangle.
Pretty, so he has a real big following, fan following.
Right.
Online. Hak is the opposite. He's got dark hair. He's tall. He's really handsome. He's kind of like a Zuko type character.
Yeah.
When you think about it, he really is.
The Zuko without the scar. That's true. And I kind of imagine, like, we haven't seen the anime period.
But we're going to be watching it soon, stay tuned for a review.
I kind of assume he's voiced by David Matronga, like the type of character he would do. But we'll see when we actually watch it.
He's actually voiced by Christopher Sabat.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's even better. So, at the point of the manga, we had gotten...
She's voiced by Monica Rial.
No way. Okay. And I know for the points that we got into the manga, I think they were meeting like different dragons.
Yes.
I guess they had human forms, just like I thought with Monkey Kid, and it's like different colored dragons for different tribes, and they all have their own regions. And now that I think about it, it's probably where Rhea and the Last Dragon came from. We're having different areas be different elements, but also parts of the dragon. I think that's where it came from when I think about it.
And Hak is known as the Thunder Beast because he has lightning fast fighting skills, and he's actually former general of the Wind Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go to escape, that's where he takes her to, so that she'll be safe. Although her bright red hair, she sticks out.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's long and beautiful, and she ends up cutting it off.
Right.
Thinking that's going to help her blend in, even though her hair is still bright red.
Yeah.
But
like
she didn't know she was really trying.
Yeah.
And Hak, I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, forgive me guys. He's, again, kind of like a Zuko character. He's nonchalant, he can be sarcastic, and you know that the other men in the anime are jealous of him.
Right.
Because he was orphan as a child, and he ended up with the Wind Tribe, and he ends up being the strongest soldier in the kingdom, although he wasn't born into it.
Right.
And as I mentioned, Hak's her bodyguard and her best friend, but you can tell he has feelings for her, and they're not best friend feelings.
Right. And what's really great about this is that to this day it's still going. 44 volumes. And people are still engaged in reading it. Normally by now, for some, you hear, oh, it's fallen off, it's lost its magic, it's been going on way too long, you need to end it. But the thing with a lot of these mangas, it's rare where you have a manga that's been on too long and you want it to end. It would be up in the ranks like with Bleach and One Piece and stuff, where as long as it has this great writing, you don't care how long it lasts. Absolutely. And I think this is one of those cases. May not be up there with the big three of shonen or or shoujo or anything, but it clearly has a large fan base, a loyal fan base for it to be going on till present day and still having the story keep going.
Absolutely. And I want to mention a few more characters that stood out to us from reading. Another one is Yun. He's voiced by Bakugo Clifford Chapman in the anime, and he's the orphan boy who became a priest.
Okay.
And you really liked him in the manga. He's real small. He's got a cute face, and everyone loves him.
Oh gosh.
And he's an expert at cooking and making medicines. And
There's always gotta be a cook.
And we saw that he was usually mistaken for a girl. He wanted to be thought of as stronger and confident.
Yeah, one of those characters.
But he's usually mistaken for a girl, or he's teased because he's a cook and he does medicine. He's an apprentice. But you like him.
Yeah.
And he is the only one that doesn't fight. He can make explosives, but he doesn't do any type of fighting.
Right.
We mentioned Suwon. He's voiced by Michael Solasud. And we've seen him in other anime. I'm not thinking of any characters right now. And as you mentioned, then you had some of the Dragon Warriors that started making themselves apparent by the 5th volume. And the one that sticks out right now, well, I should say the two. One is Kija, who's the White Dragon's Claw.
Yeah.
And he and Hawk, man, they had
and then he had a mask, and it's like, oh, we know what's coming.
And yes, it's exactly what you thought. And out of the 4 dragons, he was the most immediately loyal to Yona, and he's voiced by Ian Sinclair.
Oh, no way.
In the anime. And I don't want to tell too much about him because really learning about him in the manga is one of the most fun things. And then we also met the Shin-Ah. And I think he was the Blue Dragons. He was the inheritor of the Blue Dragon's eyes.
Right.
That's a really interesting backstory as well. And so you got the 2 of them plus Hawk plus Yona.
Right.
And it's really interesting that they think they blend in.
Yeah, and it's like, look at you.
And that's the one that has the mask. Is the one
him.
Right. He has the mask. The other one has the white hair and he's real pretty. But the one you're speaking of he has to keep his eyes by wearing the mask. So that's
what I was thinking, because that was one of the first few characters they met on the journey.
Oh, and we also got introduced to the Green Dragon quickly, and that was J-Ha.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And he's the inheritor of the Green Dragon's right leg. And he was a prisoner until he escaped and joined a pirate group.
Really specific there.
He's voiced by Joel McDonald.
Oh, okay.
So we have yet to learn more about the Yellow Dragon. And she didn't have to go searching for him. He wandered into the camp. His name is Zeno, and he's voiced by Jesse James Grow.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. Pretty good cast of people to do the voices, and I'm sure when you hear them, they probably all fit.
Yes. So I can't wait to watch the anime because you've got some other favorites like Jerry Jewell. You've got that's the only one that sticks out to me that I know I really want to hear doing the voices. And if you've been on to X, you will see all of this gorgeous fan art that is still being made. Every day you will see new fan art, and it's being shared by the fandom. And the drawings and the artwork, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
And it really lives up to the covers for the mangas. You've seen some as you've been watching this podcast. The covers are absolutely gorgeous. And the drawings are really basic black, white, grayscale.
You're right.
But the characters on the cover look like the characters in the manga. Sometimes they don't.
Right.
Especially when it's a shoujo.
Right.
But in here, what you see on the cover is what you get in the manga, just in black and white grayscale.
Right.
And the anime, I've seen some of the trailer, and it looks beautiful. And they capture the beauty of the colors and the artwork and the design of the manga in the anime. It just looks gorgeous. The anime, I want to check this because I want to know if they do the same artwork.
Okay.
It's written by Shinichi Aosumi for the anime. And Suyo Perot actually did it.
Oh, yeah. They've done some pretty good work, too, for a few of their animes.
So I don't know who does the artwork for the anime, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
That's probably the highlight of the manga in visuals.
Definitely. If it's not done by Kusanagi, they did a great job in capturing the beauty of it.
Right.
And this is definitely a manga you should read if you haven't. And you like period piece shoujo, you like adventure, you like romance, you like the fantasy, you like, again, memorable characters. So far, every single character is memorable and a standout, and that just doesn't happen. You have MHA, you have JJK, and of course those are not shoujo, but there's similar mangas where everyone is memorable who appears. Nozaki-kun.
Right.
Well, you can put this one right in the same category. You remember every single character you're introduced to.
Definitely.
And you see their importance in the story. And that's another thing that sticks out. It's not like they're superfluous or you could do without any of these characters. Even in the beginning of the volumes, like 1 through 5, when you're being introduced, you see their importance. You see how they're lending their narrative to the story as it unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't wait to learn more and see more. And you can't wait to get more backstory. You can't wait to see how it's going to end up. You can't wait to see how Yona's going to grow. You can't wait to see Yona and Hawk as a couple.
Yeah.
You just can't wait.
Right.
So if you've read Yona the Dawn manga or seen the anime, let us know in the comments below. Do you love it as much as I do? Have you finished the entire 42 volumes? Are you still buying them? Are you still waiting on season 2? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't read it, it's available at your local library. You can buy it on Amazon, but it doesn't come cheap. Originally, the books were $9.99. I think they're $13.99 now.
Yeah,
they're very popular.
Right.
And the anime is available exclusively on Crunchyroll to watch. Go, watch, read, come back, tell us what you think.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, include videos, favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing in the joy of all things animation. Don't forget to follow us on social media, on Pinterest, Twitter, X, as well as Instagram. We are on Twix, as we call it, every single day.
Yep.
And we also share our videos on there. So come by, check us out, say hello, and share some of your content with us. If you want us to follow you, let us know in the comments below, or even let us know on Twix itself.
Yes.
And feel free to hit us up on DMs. We read, we get them every day, and we love to hear from you.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
And I'm on Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.